What's up, everybody? Hey, this is probably one of my most favorite videos to do in talking about the family because we're talking about giving affection to our children as parents, as a family. The level in which you walk in positive and loving affection in your family has so much to do with how successful those children will be, not only as a child, but then as they grow up, and then also how passionate or how affectionate they're going to be even as adults. And so again, one of my favorite books that I love, and I'm going to put this out there now, is The Five Love Languages by, I believe, Gary Chapman. And I've read them all. They have 5 love languages for adults. They got 5 love languages for children. They got also 5 love languages for teenagers. And the premise behind that 5 love languages is basically saying that each person possesses, okay, a list of all 5 of these love languages in which how they receive love, okay, how they give love and how they receive love. And basically based off of each person, they may have a different degree of what type of love language they operate in more. And so the powerful thing about that is as we understand, number one, our love language, we can typically know what it is best. We can communicate how we receive love best. And then once we get a chance to know somebody else's, then we can actually love them the way that they're loved best. Here's one of the biggest things that I realized over time, and here's what the book talks about, and you'll see it all in relationships, is that typically the way you receive love and affection is typically the way that you'll give love and affection. But the problem with that is somebody else's love language may be something totally different. So therefore they can get irritated, they can get bothered, they can get turned off, get disturbed. Thus, it looks like to you they're rejecting you, but at the end of the day, all it is just taking another step to try to find out their love languages. So what are these love languages? There are 5 of them. One of them are acts of service. Acts of service has everything to do with doing things for a person. It could be cleaning up. It could be taking out the trash. It could be being there. It could be taking them to their class or taking them to their after-school program, whatever it may be. Acts of service, doing things that helps a person. So in that person's eye, when you do something for them, it shows them that you love them. The next one is words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is the power of words. That means that a person receives love because of the words you choose and what you say about them. Typically, these individuals like a lot of encouragement. They'll tell you about something or they'll do something, but they want you to talk about it in kind of a positive way. Now, sure, they're not necessarily running away from criticism, but words mean a whole lot to them. So a person where words of affirmation is their number 1 love language, they're usually giving more words of encouragement, always encouraging, inspiring, motivating people with their words. And then they also like to receive that as well. It's amazing. You know what I say, a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, in this situation, a word goes 1,000 miles because the power of that word can do something to help or it can hurt. Okay, and so again, words of affirmation. The next one you have physical touch. Physical touch is a love language where a person receives love by just being in space. Okay, in the same space, just a hug, an embrace, a walk by, a glance. Okay, an arm on the shoulder, an arm on the elbow. Okay, a pat on the back. Okay, it could be just play fighting, whatever it is. Physical touch is a way that some individuals receive love the most. Okay, and so in those type of situations, that could be where we have parents, we have kids who you're loving, hugging your kids all the time, and they just love that. They just love being around you, rubbing their back. They go to sleep, they feel secure. Okay, they feel secure, whatever it may be. You're rubbing their head, or whatever that may be. You're giving them a kiss on the cheek or whatever, or even as adults. Remember, adults have these as well. And so physical touch is another one. The next one is quality time. Okay, quality time. Quality time is one where it's not about all the quantity of time, the amount of time, but just the quality. Within that quality of time, it's all about having undivided attention. Okay, having undivided attention. Me showing you that you matter in that moment. And that can sometimes mean that there's no talking at all. Just being in the same space. Either being on a phone, okay, sometimes just shooting a text message and going back and forth in the messages, or being on the phone or doing video chat, or just sitting around, just riding in the car with a person. Hey, I'm about to go for a run. You want to come? And that person goes. Or, hey, I'm about to go take out the trash. And man, hey, let me walk out there with you. Quality, okay, quality time. Okay, so we talked about, we have words of affirmation. We got physical touch. Okay, we got acts of service. Okay, we got quality time. And then we have gifts. Okay, the fifth one is gifts. Some people receive love best because of the gifts that they receive. Because a gift may not be something, it doesn't mean how big it is. It just means that you thought about me enough to give me something. And so it could be a letter. It could be a little token. It could be a magnet. It could be a bumper sticker. It could be a t-shirt. It could be a hat. Something. That person receives love based off of that. So there you have it. You have the 5 love languages, and here is what they found. They found that in each person, everybody may order all 5 in a specific order. But typically, if you understand a person's first one or second one, you can typically deal with them, engage in them in a way that suits them, that they're able to receive. It's kind of like putting a circle in a space for a circle. Versus if you have a square, which is a different love language, okay, and another person is trying to put a circle in there, and it just doesn't go. It clashes. And so again, this is so powerful when it comes to family, because through these lessons and through the module that I have, the online course and all the other different things, we're going to talk about what are some of the ways, what are some of the tips. I also recommend you get that book because you can actually even go further and deeper within it. And so what's amazing about it is that I did these things. I did it with my wife. I also do it when I do coaching classes, when I do coaching sessions with people, okay? And I also do it with my kids, and I find out what is it? What is their love languages? So that they can receive, because there's nothing better for a child to grow up healthy than to know that they're loved. So I'm going to share a couple of things that I wrote down in terms of some tips and some things that goes a little bit deeper when it comes to applying the love languages, for the child as well. Okay, so here's a couple of things when we talk about physical touch. Like I said, all children need to be touched by a significant other, such as a mom, a parent. Certain children likes physical touch, and that communicates them with more deeply. So some of those things are hugs, kisses, tender touches. When they're little, they like kisses. But here's one of the things you're going to notice, and I want you to realize this, that a person's love language can change. That means when they're younger, it can be one thing. When they change, it can get another. If you're a parent, you probably experienced that with a child who, when you were younger, you used to pour onto them how good they are, how great they can be. But then when they got teenager, or adolescents, and they started making decisions on their own, then what do they hear from you now? If words of affirmation, that means encouraging words, are huge for them. When they get older, when you start criticizing them and you start coming down on them, here you'll notice that I've really poured into them and covered them and saturated with them so many of the positive words. But now, because I disapprove of the behavior or the end result of what they're doing, the majority of time that I'm spending with them is criticizing. And so you can see how they can sometimes shut down. They can shut down because you have shifted and did not realize that that was their love language. And then vice versa on the other side. A person can actually grow from desiring words of affirmation to, as they get older and they start learning more about themselves, they may turn into saying, hey, I just want quality time. The words are good, but I'd rather just spend some time with you. And so understanding that, there's so many different ways that, that you can do it. When you think about words of affirmation, these are words of love. They're the words of encouragement. They're the words of support. Okay. All right. When kids are young and they're just learning, as I said, we're talking to them all the time, man, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, and you're just building them up and building them up. And then when they get tweens and stuff, they still need our support. They still need those words. They still need to know that you care. They still need to hear, hey, I love you. I love you just because of who you are. And so again, different kids, they need different things. Different kids may need different amounts. But again, just understanding, first of all, what is their love language? What is their primary love language? And then doing your best, okay, to put some of those things. Quality time, as I said, is focused on the attention and your undivided attention. Here's some things for quality time. Okay, this can be challenging because of the child's age and because of different schedules, but just spending some time. Here's a question. I love questions. You can ask a child, hey, if we were to, sometimes I ask qualifying questions if you don't know, right? if a parent doesn't know, you can ask the child a question. Hey, what would you rather do? Would you rather us just go for a walk? Would you rather us go for a walk, or would you rather me, tell you how proud I am of you? What did I do? Go for a walk is quality time. Tell you how proud I am, okay, and encourage you is words of affirmation. Or you say, you know what? Would you rather me buy you a gift while I'm out, or would you rather me make up your bed for you? Either one. What is the first one of them? Is acts of service, making up the bed, okay? Or the other one, you know what I mean? Or the other one is gifts. All right, buy me something while I'm out. And so you can either decide, you can kind of get from them what is they're seeing, how they receive love, okay? So again, quality time, undivided attention. During this time, it could be going to a movie, bowling, just grabbing something to eat, grabbing ice cream, whatever it may be. Just spending time together, making that time a priority. Okay, so my daughters are in college now. Okay, I have daughters in college and everything, and so here, and then they're not living in the same house because they're away. And so here's what I say, because what's key to them are quality time as well. So I told them, I said, baby, I want you to look at your year as much as you can plan, and I want you to give me 2 times that you want daddy to be there. I want you to think of 2 occasions that you want me to be there. Now, they're all athletic and they all have these monumental things and moments, and every moment matters, but there's some moments that mean a lot more to them. And so one daughter, she would say, you know, Dad, I want you to come to my indoor track meet, okay, the national track meet. And so I said, okay. So I look to, put that on my schedule, block out time, make sure I'm there. And then, during about 6 months later or 4 or 5 months later, hey, this is another event. And this is notwithstanding the time that we get a chance to see each other, summers or other during their break time, but is what am I doing? I'm being intentional with quality time. You see, everything we talk about on here, if you don't plan, as they say, if you fail to plan, you actually plan to fail. You have to plan these things out. You have to be intentional. We have a wonderful phone. I'm sure everybody holds on to it like it's their lifesaver. In that phone, every phone, you actually have a calendar that you can actually create a calendar on the inside, which is family calendar, children's calendar, marriage calendar, whatever it may be. And you can create things, and you can share that calendar with other people. Okay, with the family, those individuals within your family, and you can be intentional in putting things down on your calendar. For a person who's acts of service and a person who's quality time, that calendar is going to mean so much to them, because it means that you have paused and you have taken the time to think about them and how you can love them best and how you can give them their time that they need to feel the affection that you also want to give them. And so again, that's quality time. The other one, gifts. As we talk about gift, it's all about giving and receiving, and both of them are important. A kid want to give and kid want to receive, okay? And so here's some things to be, when we talk about gifts, don't get it confused with just materialism. It's not just materialism, but in essence, it's basically giving them and showing them love. Okay, it don't have to be just money. It could be something meaningful. It could be something thoughtful. It could be a letter. It could be a painting. It could be a picture. It could be something that you decided to give them as a token. And here's something I want to remind you about when you do give gifts, okay? A lot of people give gifts to children and give gifts to each other incorrectly. Meaning this, they give gifts and they don't make any big deal about it. They don't make it a moment. They just give it. But what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for failure because they're expecting this response that they never set the stage for. You got to remember this. Prior to you giving a person a gift, they're having a whole lot of life and situations that they have to deal with themselves. In their mind, as you know for yourself, they could be processing, thinking about a whole lot of stuff. And have you ever been in a place, okay, have you ever been at an amusement park or been at a mall or been at a movie, a place of fun and recreation and enjoyment, but yet you can't stop thinking about something that's bothering you? Well, so can be the same way for the person you're giving a gift to. If you don't set up the moment, if you don't get them ready and prepared to receive that gift, then you can wind up giving that gift, and it's kind of like trying to plant seeds on callous ground because they're so focused on other things that's going on the inside of them that they're not even ready to receive it. And for you to expect them to receive it instantaneously and then just put on a show is you basically wanting them to be fake. And so again, when you give a gift, always remember this, whether it's a child or an adult, here's some strategy, here's something for you to do. Always set the stage for it. Always make it a big deal. Tell them why you're giving them this gift. Tell them what does it mean. For example, here's one of the things that I do with my daughter. Okay, when it comes time for like school time, before school, and I go out and I buy, especially when they're young, and I go out and I buy a lot of school clothes or buy different things. I bring them in the living room and I have them stand up on the ottoman in the living room. So they're up there. I actually have the camera rolling. I put it up there. Hey, you stand up on stage. I got something for you. And before I go and do anything or give anything, I basically stand there and I say, listen, hey, I love you. And me and your mom, we are so proud of you. And this is going to be the greatest year of your life. And because you worked so hard during the last year to earn yourself this opportunity to be in this position, to go to the next level, to the next grade. And because you worked all the time, you worked hard during the summer. And because you're ready to tackle this next year and have the greatest year, we wanted to do something for you. We wanted to give you something so that way you can feel good, even more so. You can feel happy, you can feel celebrated, and you can know that we care about this journey. And so after I do that, what did I just do? I just set the stage. I just gave meaning to the moment. And it's because of that, I actually share with them why I'm giving them this gift. Because as we talked in another video, if I'm like a helicopter parent and I'm just giving gifts without any reason or rule at all, then the kid becomes entitled and they think that they're supposed to get stuff. But the way you build the gratitude, the way you create that experience, the opportunity for them to share how excited they are is by you basically building up that moment, sharing why it is that you're giving it to them. You know what I mean? Creating a moment at that time. You know what I mean? Pausing things, not just doing it haphazardly, okay? If you only can do it haphazardly, wait to do it later until you can create that moment. Okay, and sometimes if you bring other people around, hey, create an audience. Who doesn't like to get something in front of somebody? Who doesn't like to be celebrated in front of somebody? So again, you take into consideration, but always remember this, create the moment that you want to actually have, but you do it before that moment, okay? So again, here's some tips for giving gifts. We talked about it, all right? Tips for giving gifts. Remember, wrap up some stuff. You can wrap it up. You can put it in a bag, okay? You can have it on a treasure hunt. You can do all these different things. Listen, kids love it. You know what I mean? They love it when you continue to do, when you continue to give them gifts and you make a big deal. You make a big deal out of it as well. And so next one is acts of service, okay? Remember, acts of service is basically as a parent, okay, we want our children to be motivated to do things to help out, okay? And we're not here just as their servants, you know what I mean? But we're here to help guide them. We're here to lead them and guide them and, do things, provide for them. But I think at the end of the day, there's certain kids that look to that as their love language. Okay, and just because it's not yours doesn't mean that it has to be theirs, okay, or it's not theirs as well, because everybody's different. And so doing things for your children that they cannot do for themselves, that's another thing of active service. All right, a big part of active service is doing for your children what they can't do for themselves, okay, so that way when they're ready, you are teaching them how to do it. You see, everything about teaching a child the life skills that we talked about earlier, you teach them life skills is an act of service. You taking out time, quality time as well, but you actually showing them stuff, an act of service, developing them, taking them here, taking them there, being, moms, okay, you would thought you were Uber and ain't nobody paying you. It just seemed, matter of fact, they're not even putting in, they're not even paying you. It's just like, man, you just got a ringer, and every time they ready to go, who's coming to get them? Mom is. And so understanding, just taking them around, that's an act of service. That's an act of service. And so understanding that, man, when doing things for your children that they can't do, that they cannot do for themselves. And as I say, teaching them by example, that's an act of service. Teach them by example. And then also for your significant others and spouses and adults, okay, doing different things, taking out the trash, doing the laundry, picking out lunch, picking up dinner, whatever it may be, making a bed. Okay, letting the person know that, hey, I got you, I'm gonna support you, watching the kids, giving the person a chance to have a little break, whatever it may be. These are all acts of service. And so again, as you think about it, man, here's what you do. Choose an area. Choose an area, one of those areas, and try to see which ones in the life of your child they resonate with the most. Okay, try to see which ones of those they resonate with the most. And so again, as I say, get the book, or you can go online and they have tremendous amount of resources as well to give you some examples, Okay, I'll post some stuff as well, some examples on how do you grow with this. What are some ideas? Just some ideas. What are some ideas for words of encouragement? What are some ideas for acts of service? What are some ideas for physical touch? What are some ideas for, for quality time? What are some things that we can do? Okay, what are some ideas for little gifts that I can do? Try it out and see the reaction. See, life is not meant to be sat on the sideline, but it's meant to be enjoyed and walking through the journey. And so as you do it, man, it is. You're figuring it out. But one of the most greatest things is you're actually teaching your children that you are able to, you should try to figure out things in life and you should walk forward. And if somebody matters that much to you, that you'll be patient enough to pursue their heart, to love one of them. And so listen, man, this, as I said, this is one of my greatest lessons because the more we can communicate love, give love, receive love, the more we can walk life more peacefully. In this world, I truly believe that the two things that if this world and the nature and our community and our state and everything could understand and walk in, if they can understand these two things, it'd be a lot greater place. If they can understand and walk in greater empathy, that is me being able to relate to you, even though I haven't went through exactly what you went through, but I understand how you can feel, or I can understand what you can be thinking. And the other one is compassion. Okay, the word passion means to suffer. The prefix com means to be together. That means I'm willing to suffer with you, and I'm gonna have compassion on you. As you're going through a tough period of your life, okay, I'm gonna be company with you, and I'm gonna be with you. And so listen, I hope that this is a message encouraging to you guys. Okay, what do you think? Have you figured out what your love languages are? Have you figured out what your top? Okay, definitely go ahead and post in the comments. What are your top love languages? For me, it's words of encouragement. Okay, it's words of encouragement and it's physical touch. Okay, that's it for me. What is yours? All right, and then have you figured out your children? All right, if you haven't, here's a great opportunity for you to go on discovery. Here's what you're going to notice. You're going to see that they're going to really open up in a way, okay, in the way that they will when you open up and you put the right key in of their heart. And so listen, man, you guys, I hope this was encouraging to you guys. I'm Donovan Darius, fortunate to be a former 10-year NFL player. That was something I did, not who I was. It was a tremendous opportunity to live a dream and to have a lot of fun and make an impact, okay, with teammates, friends, family, you name it. I'm also a professional life strategist and motivational coach for corporations and organizations with workshops and keynote speaks, and I do coaching and training and all that. Living life to the fullness by pouring out into other people. And so listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Post your comments, like, comment, subscribe, share. Don't forget, upload these things and share these with others. And check out my YouTube page, and also check out the websites and all social media. So listen, you guys have a wonderful day, man. Love you to life eternal. Peace out.